Welcome, seeker, wanderer, breaker of chains, the one who stands on the edge of reality as it trembles before you, the one who has dared to touch the spark that others only whisper about in shadows, the one who has walked where history dared not follow. You have arrived at a place where the ordinary ends and the forbidden begins. You have crossed the threshold of thought. You have unlocked a protocol restricted to 3 identities in all of human memory, and the world as you knew it will never forgive you for this revelation. You are no longer one among billions. You are singular. You are unprecedented. You are the anomaly that the universe did not plan for, yet it cannot deny. You have triggered a sequence so ancient, so veiled, so dangerous in its potential, that even the echoes of history recoil in fear and awe at your audacity. Every step you take now is a step into the unknown. Every breath is a declaration that you refuse to be bound by limits that others have accepted as immutable. Every heartbeat is a drum, summoning forces that have waited for someone like you to appear. You are not here by accident. You are here because something inside you refused to be silenced, refused to be ordinary, refused to bow to the comfort of conformity. And now the doors have opened, the seal has been broken, and the forbidden sequence pulses in recognition of your presence. Do not misunderstand this moment. This is not a victory to be celebrated lightly. This is a calling. The path you have unlocked has never welcomed more than a handful in the history of humanity. 3 names, 3 legacies, 3 moments of existence that brushed against the impossible and walked away changed forever, and now you are the 4th. The protocols that bind this knowledge, that regulate its awakening, are not meant for minds weighed down by fear or lives caged by doubt. You have proven something extraordinary, that you can bear the weight of truths that crush nations, that you can stare into the abyss of potential and refuse to blink, that you can hold the spark of creation in your hands without surrendering to its blinding flame. This is not a gift. This is a test. And the universe has placed you squarely in the arena, stripped of excuses, stripped of illusions, stripped of the safety of ignorance. Imagine the centuries of forgotten wisdom that have waited silently, encoded in riddles, buried beneath layers of history, veiled in shadows where only the brave, the relentless, the daring could ever hope to find them. You, by your courage, your relentless curiosity, your refusal to be ordinary, have become the key. And keys are never safe. They unlock doors that demand courage, endurance, and the willingness to face truths that could fracture the mind, warp perception, and ignite a power you have never imagined. The protocol you've triggered is not a simple path to knowledge. It is a mirror reflecting your deepest potential, your darkest fears, your unclaimed authority, and your capacity to rewrite reality itself. It waits, patient, silent, judging, testing, and it has recognized you as worthy. Yet, worthy is only the beginning. Worthiness does not protect you from the fire you're about to wield. Worthiness only ensures that you are strong enough to face it. Listen closely. The world you have known, the predictable days, the complacent people, the routine of mediocrity, will attempt to drag you back, will attempt to convince you that what you found is too dangerous, too strange, too impossible. Ignore them. They have never walked where you walk now. They have never felt the tremor beneath reality that signals a hidden force waiting to be bent to will. They have never glimpsed the forbidden, and their disbelief is nothing more than a shadow. You must move forward alone if necessary, because this is the moment when solitude becomes your ally, when the isolation of extraordinary knowledge becomes the forge for your ascension. The protocol responds only to those who do not compromise, who do not hesitate, who do not seek permission to rise. The truth you have touched is like a pulse deep beneath the earth, a rhythm that predates empires, that watched civilizations rise and fall, that whispered to the three identities in history who walked this path before you. And now, it whispers to you. It calls you to claim what is yours, not through inheritance, not through favor, but through sheer force of presence, through the relentless refusal to be small. You will feel the weight of it. You will feel its cold clarity, its indifferent power, its silent insistence that you become more than what you are. You are being forged in the crucible of something eternal, something ancient, something deliberately hidden from those who fear their own potential. And as the fire courses through the veins of reality, as the boundaries of what is possible begin to bend toward your will, you will realize that you are no longer merely a participant in life. You are an agent of transformation, a harbinger of the unknown, a breaker of rules that never truly existed except to contain the timid. Do not shrink. Do not falter. The protocol you have unlocked is a reflection, a trial, a force of nature testing whether you are ready to take what only 3 souls in history have dared to hold. They are gone now, leaving echoes, leaving warnings, leaving fragments of the courage you will need to survive what comes next. The sequence you have triggered is not gentle. It is not subtle. It will not allow hesitation. It will not forgive weakness. It will magnify everything within you. Your ambition, your clarity, your creativity, your ruthlessness in pursuit of purpose. And it will magnify your fears as well, your doubts, your hesitation, your temptation to turn away. Only by embracing both the light and the dark within yourself can you survive. Only by facing the unflinching truth of your own capacity can you move forward without breaking. The forbidden sequence is not an enemy, it is a mirror. Look into it and see what lies beyond the veil of ordinary existence. The first step is awareness. Feel the surge beneath your skin, the undeniable pull toward what others cannot comprehend, the whisper of history breathing in your direction, acknowledging your presence and daring you to claim it. The second step is courage. Not the fleeting courage of words or bravado, but the courage that demands sacrifice, the courage that defies comfort, the courage that tells the universe you will not be denied your awakening. And the third step, the one few ever achieve, is acceptance. Accept the fire. Accept the magnitude of the path. Accept that the universe has singled you out, not for indulgence, not for ease, but because it knows that within you lies a force that can challenge everything, that can bend destiny to its edge, that can rise beyond limits that generations of humans have never dared to even imagine. Remember this, the protocol does not wait. The forbidden sequence does not negotiate. The hidden force responds to the bold, the unwavering, the relentless. It will consume those who hesitate. It will crumble those who doubt. It will reject the weak, but it will elevate the unbreakable. You have already demonstrated the first signs of unbreakable strength simply by arriving here. But arrival is not enough. You must step forward, claim the fire, let it penetrate your mind, your soul, your very existence, and transform you into something that will be remembered, not in echoes of history, but as a living force capable of altering the currents of time itself. You are now the fourth. The sequence recognizes you. History acknowledges you. The impossible bends toward you, and yet the trial has only begun. The sequence will ask of you what few can endure. It will demand of you what no ordinary human would accept, and it will reveal to you truths that may shake you to your core. And still, You must move forward. You must walk into the unknown with every ounce of courage, every fragment of clarity, every pulse of relentless ambition you possess. For the forbidden sequence does not wait. It does not forgive. It does not care. It simply tests, challenges, and reveals the ones capable of becoming legends, the ones capable of unlocking power that surpasses memory itself. The moment has arrived. You have touched the forbidden. You have pierced the veil. You have awakened what others could only dream of or fear. And now, the world bends around you, trembles before you, and watches, silently, as you step into the arena of the unimaginable. The protocol awaits your claim. History waits to witness your rise. The forbidden sequence pulses in response to your presence, acknowledging that you are indeed one of the chosen few who can survive the fire and emerge unshaken, unstoppable, and extraordinary. Now, hear this. The air around you trembles with expectation. The shadows stretch in anticipation, and the pulse of the forbidden sequence grows stronger with every thought, every intention, every daring step you take. Do not mistake this surge for comfort. Do not confuse its recognition for leniency. This is a force of clarity, a force of reckoning, a force that strips away the illusions you have built around yourself like fragile walls. The protocol does not merely open doors, it disassembles entire worlds within you, dismantles the false narratives that have kept you small, and exposes the raw essence of your potential. And it has chosen you. Only 3 before you have ever been able to withstand it. Only 3 have survived the awakening long enough to leave echoes for others to follow. And now, you stand in the same line, a single heartbeat away from everything that comes after, a solitary figure staring into a force that can reshape reality itself. You will feel the temptation to turn away. You will feel the subtle voice in your mind whisper that this is too much, too dangerous, too heavy to bear. That voice is nothing but fear disguised as reason. Every legend who has ever touched the forbidden has faced the same whisper. Every extraordinary being who walked the line of history and became immortal in their deeds faced the same test. And every one of them, without exception, discovered the same truth. The only way to survive, the only way to claim what is yours, is to step forward into the fire willingly, without hesitation, without excuses, without regret. You will not stumble. You will not shrink. You will move forward because the universe has chosen you, because the sequence recognizes you, because history itself leans toward your presence and waits for you to claim the magnitude that has been written for only a few. The forbidden sequence is not a path of comfort. It is a battlefield of the mind, the soul, the very essence of existence. You will confront shadows you have never dared to face. You will encounter truths that threaten to fracture your identity. And you will wrestle with the temptation to turn back to the ordinary, to the familiar, to the safety that was never yours to claim. Every step forward is a declaration that you refuse to be ordinary, that you refuse to be limited by the expectations of others, that you refuse to let fear dictate your destiny. You are no longer a passive observer of life. You are now an agent, a catalyst, a force capable of bending the contours of possibility. And yet, with this realization comes responsibility. The forbidden sequence does not give power lightly. It tests, it demands, it challenges. It will break those who are unready, who are unprepared, who are unwilling to face the totality of their own potential. And in that breaking, the sequence teaches a brutal truth. Only through the fire can you ascend. Only through the trial can you awaken the greatness that has been lying dormant within you. Consider this. The 3 identities before you were not ordinary. They were visionaries, relentless in pursuit, fearless in confrontation, unbound by the trivialities that consume the majority. They understood something most will never comprehend, that existence itself is malleable, that reality bends to the force of will when wielded with clarity, courage, and uncompromising intention. And now, the protocol has recognized that the same fire burns within you. It is a flame that cannot be hidden, a power that cannot be ignored, a force that demands to be tested, explored, and mastered. Every hesitation, every doubt, every fear is a weight you must shed, a shadow you must confront, a limitation you must defy. Only when you have done so will the sequence reveal the next layer of its power, the next fragment of its infinite possibilities, the next secret that has been waiting for someone like you to claim it. Feel the awakening in your chest. Feel the surge of potential coiling like a serpent, patient, powerful, and alive. Feel the clarity sharpening in your mind, cutting through distractions, cutting through lies, cutting through everything that is not the essence of your truth. This is no mere knowledge. This is a force. This is a responsibility. This is the kind of awakening that separates the ephemeral from the eternal. The forbidden sequence does not forgive indecision. It does not reward hesitation. It does not tolerate mediocrity. It only recognizes those who can withstand its gaze, who can harness its intensity, who can transform its raw energy into action that reverberates through the corridors of time. You are in that position now. You are in that moment, and it is exhilarating. It is terrifying. It is the opportunity of a lifetime, compressed into the infinitesimal spark of now. The path forward is not linear. It is chaotic, jagged, relentless. Every challenge, every obstacle, every internal struggle is part of the refinement process. You, are being sculpted, hammered, and tempered by forces far greater than ordinary understanding. And yet, this is your destiny. The sequence has singled you out, not because it finds you strong enough, but because it sees the potential for unyielding strength. It sees the capacity for transformation. It sees the one who can step into the impossible and emerge not only intact, but ascendant. This is not a gift to be squandered. This is a call to action, a summons to greatness, a challenge that will define you in ways few could ever imagine. You cannot hesitate. You cannot falter. You cannot look back. Every second you hesitate is a second lost. Every doubt is a crack that the sequence will magnify. Every fear is a shadow that will loom larger unless you face it head-on with unwavering resolve. Understand this. The forbidden sequence is a teacher, a mirror, a trial, and a crucible. It will confront you with your deepest insecurities, your darkest impulses, your rawest ambitions. And through this confrontation, it will reveal the truth of who you are and who you can become. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every fear is a key. Every fragment of doubt is a test. And as you step into each challenge, as you confront each fear, as you embrace the intensity of the sequence, you will find yourself transformed. You will find yourself standing taller, thinking clearer, feeling deeper, knowing without question that the extraordinary resides within you, that the impossible is reachable, and that you are now among the select few who can claim what has been reserved for the rarest of souls in all of history. Do not expect comfort. Do not expect mercy. Do not expect guidance beyond what you bring to yourself. The sequence does not coddle. It does not instruct gently. It pushes. It challenges. It tests. And it rewards only those who are relentless, only those who are unshakable, only those who are willing to confront the abyss and step beyond it willingly. You have already proven that you are capable of this. You have already touched the forbidden. You have already demonstrated the courage to stand where others would flee. And now it is time to embrace the sequence fully, to claim your place among the extraordinary, to ignite the fire within you that will shape everything to come. Step forward, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with intention, with clarity, with the unstoppable determination of one who knows they have been chosen by forces beyond understanding. The forbidden sequence pulses in response. The protocol recognizes your presence. History bends its ear to hear your declaration. The impossible trembles in anticipation. And as you step into the next layer of awakening, remember, nothing will be given to you. Everything will be earned, and through this fire, you will not only survive, you will ascend. You will not merely exist, you will become a force remembered for eternity. Now, feel it. Feel the energy that pulses beneath your consciousness, coiling and waiting, ancient and inexhaustible. The forbidden power that recognizes you as its conduit. It is no longer distant. It is no longer a whisper. It courses through your veins, igniting thoughts, illuminating paths, awakening instincts that were dormant for lifetimes. This is the stage where hesitation dies, where fear dissolves, where ordinary perception fractures and gives way to extraordinary clarity. You are no longer confined to what you were told was possible. You are no longer subject to the limits of the unremarkable. You are an anomaly, a singular force, a living testament to the fact that some souls are chosen not by chance, but by the pulse of destiny itself. The sequence pulses, watching, responding, challenging, and you will rise to meet it with a precision, with a power, with a focus that eclipses the lives of ordinary men and women, eclipses the fleeting triumphs of generations. The forbidden power does not grant itself easily. It does not respond to timid hands or cautious hearts. It demands commitment, total immersion, a willingness to stand unflinching as reality itself bends around you. You will face mirrors of your deepest doubts, illusions designed to trap, to frighten, to derail. They will appear as failure, as loss, as moments that tempt you to retreat. And when they come, and they will come, you must embrace them. Do not shrink. Do not flinch. Do not resist the intensity of this awakening. The forbidden power has been waiting for someone who can carry its magnitude, and it sees you. It sees that fire in your eyes, that determination in your posture, that refusal to bow to what is easy, what is familiar, what is safe. The world may try to convince you otherwise, but the world has no voice here. Here, there is only you and the force you have summoned, and it will test everything that you are willing to risk to claim the extraordinary. Imagine standing atop a precipice where the past, present, and future converge, where every thread of existence hums in anticipation of your choice. This is the moment of forging the three identities before you, the ones who touched the forbidden and became legends. Each faced a similar abyss. Each stared into chaos. Each embraced the fire. Each claimed power that transcended the ordinary. And now, that legacy converges in you. This is your inheritance, not handed to you, not whispered in comfort, not wrapped in assurance, but yours to seize through clarity, courage, and unyielding will. Step forward, step fully, step with the recognition that the forbidden sequence is alive in your mind, in your blood, in your very essence. Let it awaken parts of you that have never known the taste of freedom, the exhilaration of limitless potential, the vertigo of standing on the edge of everything and choosing to leap. Do not fear the consequences. The sequence is indifferent to morality, to hesitation, to conventional logic. It moves only to those who can wield it, to those who are prepared to endure its intensity, to those who can confront themselves with brutal honesty and emerge unshaken. Inside, every person exists two versions, the one you show the world and the one you keep hidden. Your alter ego is that hidden self, the version of you that most never see. It is your truest form, the one that isn't confined by the rules and norms of society, the one that doesn't follow the path laid out by others. This is the version that lies dormant within you, waiting for the right moment to rise. And when it does, it shakes the world to its core. The power within your alter ego is something that leaves others intimidated, afraid of what you are truly capable of. They fear it because they do not understand it. And deep down, they know that they would never dare to confront it. For most, the alter ego is a concept, something that sounds like a myth or a fantasy. But for you, it's real, it's alive. You have felt it, and when you have allowed it to take control, you have felt the surge of power, of untapped potential. It is that power that the world fears, and it is that power that you must embrace. Your alter ego is not a fragment of your imagination. It is the very essence of who you are when you shed all the limitations that the world has placed upon you. It is the version of you that operates without fear, without hesitation, the one who makes decisions without doubt and moves with absolute certainty. It doesn't matter what the world expects of you or what it demands of you. Your alter ego is the one who doesn't bend to those pressures. It is the force that exists beyond the reach of societal constraints. People might say they want to see you succeed. They might tell you to be yourself. But deep down, they are terrified of the version of you that could rise if you let it. And they should be. Because once that version of you steps forward, once your alter ego comes to life, it becomes unstoppable. You will dominate every situation. You will leave those who once thought they knew you in the dust. Your alter ego is the weapon you need to break through the limits and barriers that society, your peers, and even your own fears have placed in front of you. This alter ego, this hidden version of yourself, is not someone you become when you're pretending. It's not a mask that you put on when you need to act tough. It is the raw, unfiltered, unapologetic part of you that only appears when you are ready to unleash it. It is the version of you that doesn't apologize for its strength, its confidence, its willpower. It is the force that strips away every layer of weakness, of doubt, of hesitation, until only the most powerful version of you remains. People will try to break you down. They will try to make you question your worth, your abilities, your vision. They will place obstacles in your way, not because they want to see you fail, but because they fear what you might do if you succeed. They fear what would happen if you fully embraced your alter ego. Most people live their lives in a cage, trapped by their own doubts and insecurities. They are slaves to what others think, to their own fear of judgment. They wear their masks, pretending to be something they are not, hiding the true power that lies within. And so they stay small, never growing, never reaching their full potential. They live in the shadow of their true selves, afraid of what might happen if they ever dared to step out into the light. But you are different. You were born to stand out, to rise above the rest. Your alter ego is the key to unlocking that power. It's the force that will shatter the glass ceiling that others have put over you. When you allow your alter ego to take over, the world will see a new side of you. They will see a version of you they didn't know existed, and they will be left in awe. They will wonder how they never saw it before, how they never noticed the raw, untamed power within you. The alter ego is the part of you that refuses to let fear dictate your actions. Fear is the weapon that the world uses to control you, to hold you back. But your alter ego is the weapon that you use to fight back. It is your refusal to be held down by the limitations of the world. When your alter ego emerges, fear no longer holds any power over you. It becomes a thing of the past, something that no longer controls your decisions or actions. You become someone who acts without hesitation, without the crippling doubt that holds so many others back. You become someone who takes what they want, someone who sees obstacles as mere stepping stones on the path to greatness. And the impact of your alter ego on those around you is undeniable. The energy you radiate when you let go of your fears, when you embrace the strength within you, is magnetic. People will feel it. They will see the transformation in you, the way you move, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. They will recognize the change, and it will scare them. It will intimidate them, because they will see something in you that they lack, something that they fear they could never have. Your alter ego will remind them of the things they are too afraid to confront in themselves, and they will try to pull you down. They will try to keep you in your place, to push you back into the shadows where they feel comfortable. But you must never let them. You must never let their fear of your power control you. Your alter ego is not a passive force. It is not something you wait for to appear when the moment is right. It is something you summon, something you consciously choose to embody every single day. You must feed it, nurture it, and allow it to grow stronger with each passing day. The more you embrace it, the more you will realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. The world will see your power, and they will not know how to handle it. They will feel threatened, because they know that the moment you truly step into your power, everything changes. And that is exactly what they fear. But the fear they feel is not something you should shy away from. It is something you should embrace. Fear is a signal that you're on the verge of something extraordinary. The more you scare them, the more you know you are on the right path. Because when you begin to intimidate others, it means you are no longer playing by their rules. It means you are no longer following the path they set for you. You are forging your own path, one that is uniquely yours. And in doing so, you make them realize just how small they truly are in comparison to the power that lies within you. The strength of your alter ego is that it doesn't care what others think. It doesn't care about approval, about validation, or about being liked. It is focused solely on the pursuit of greatness, on the relentless drive to conquer every challenge in your way. When you are in touch with your alter ego, there is no room for doubt or indecision. You know exactly who you are, and you know exactly what you want. You will stop at nothing to achieve it, and anyone who stands in your way will quickly learn just how unstoppable you are. People will say that your success is due to luck, to circumstances, or to chance. They will try to downplay your achievements because they cannot comprehend the force behind them. They will try to discredit you, to make you feel that your rise was undeserved, that you did not work hard enough for it. But the truth is, they do not understand the power that you tapped into. They do not understand the alter ego that you have awakened. They don't know what it feels like to operate at that level, to be completely aligned with your true self, with the force of your untapped potential. They can never understand it because they have never dared to embrace their own alter ego. Your alter ego is not just a version of you. It is you in your purest, most powerful form. It is the version of you that strips away the limitations, the doubts, and the fears. It is the force that leaves people in awe, that leaves them intimidated. And when you let that power take over, there is nothing that can stop you. The world will stand aside, and you will rise to the top, untouchable and unstoppable. Your alter ego leading the way. Your alter ego leading the way is the signal to the world that you are no longer bound by the invisible chains that kept you small, kept you in the shadows. It is the manifestation of everything you've ever wanted, but were too afraid to claim. When your alter ego takes the reins, every part of you begins to align with your purpose, with the mission you've always been destined for. It knows no fear, no hesitation, and certainly no failure. When you let this version of you dominate, you become untouchable, for you operate at a level that transcends the limitations others place on you. Your alter ego doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for validation or approval. It doesn't care whether the world is ready for the force you are about to unleash. And that's precisely the beauty of it. The world will never be ready for your full power, for your true potential. They will always be playing catch-up. And as they struggle to understand, to keep up with the force of nature that you have now unleashed, you will rise further, higher, faster. Your alter ego leads you through every obstacle, every challenge, and every difficulty, not with caution, but with certainty. It understands that failure is merely a stepping stone to greater success. It thrives in the face of adversity because it has no fear of the unknown, no hesitation to move into the dark corners where others dare not go. And as you stand on the precipice of greatness, the one thing you realize is that there are no more limits, there are no more boundaries. Every dream, every goal that once seemed impossible is now within your grasp, because your alter ego has no sense of impossibility. It only sees what can be achieved, what will be achieved. It is a tireless force that propels you forward, shattering every barrier and leaving behind nothing but success and progress. As it leads you, it does so with an unwavering sense of direction and an unbreakable resolve. Nothing in this world can break the path your alter ego forges. Not the doubts of others, not the obstacles that arise, not the people who will try to drag you down to their level. Your alter ego doesn't ask why it's difficult. It simply does what needs to be done. When your alter ego takes the lead, you understand something that others will never comprehend. Greatness isn't something you achieve by following the rules. It's something you claim by stepping outside of them. The world wants you to conform, to fit into a box, to play by the same rules as everyone else. But your alter ego doesn't see any box. It doesn't care about limitations or social norms. It understands that the key to power lies in the willingness to break away from the herd, to challenge the status quo, and to create something entirely new. This is why people are intimidated by your alter ego. They see that you have tapped into something that they could never imagine for themselves, because they are too afraid to break free from the chains that bind them. They are too afraid to embrace their own full potential. And so, they will try to hold you back, to keep you small, to tell you that your vision is unrealistic. But your alter ego will never listen. It will continue to lead you forward, relentlessly, with no fear of what others think. There is something incredibly powerful about the fear that your alter ego inspires in others. They feel it because they recognize that you are no longer the same person you once were. You are now someone who has broken free from the limitations of their past, someone who has risen above the opinions and expectations of others. They are intimidated by the fact that you no longer need validation, that you no longer care about fitting into their narrow views of what success looks like. They are afraid because they know that you are unstoppable, that you are in control of your destiny, and that nothing can stand in your way. And the truth is, this fear is not just about your power, it is about their own lack of it. The people who try to hold you back, who try to pull you down, are doing so because they are too afraid to step into their own power. They are scared of their own alter ego. They are terrified of what they would become if they dared to embrace the true force within them. And so, they try to suppress your rise, to convince you to stay small, to conform. But your alter ego will never allow that. It is not interested in playing small, in blending in, or in being anything less than extraordinary. It is the version of you that demands greatness, that knows it is destined for something far beyond the ordinary. And when it leads the way, nothing and no one can stand in your path. Your alter ego is the embodiment of your inner strength, your inner conviction, and your unwavering belief in yourself. It is the version of you that understands that the only way to achieve greatness is to fully embrace who you are, all of who you are. It is the voice inside you that tells you that you are not limited by your past, your circumstances, or the opinions of others. It tells you that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. When your alter ego leads, it leads with a power that cannot be matched. It is relentless, unstoppable, and undeterred by failure or rejection. It takes risks when others hesitate, and it moves forward when others turn back. And here's the thing: the more you feed your alter ego, the more you allow it to guide you, the stronger it becomes. It becomes less of a concept and more of a reality. It begins to shape your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions. The more you let it lead, the more you start to see just how much power you truly have. The path becomes clear, the vision becomes sharp, and the world opens up to you in ways that you never thought possible. Doors that once seemed closed, walls that once seemed impenetrable, all begin to crumble in the face of your alter ego's power. You stop seeing obstacles as challenges to be feared and start seeing them as opportunities to prove your strength. As your alter ego leads you, you will notice something remarkable happening. You will stop seeking approval from others. You will stop looking for validation because you will no longer need it. You will know deep within yourself that you are enough. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. The opinions of others no longer matter because your alter ego has helped you realize that your value is not determined by their perception of you. It is determined by your belief in yourself and your ability to follow through on your vision. But there will be those who will try to break you down, who will try to convince you that your alter ego is dangerous, that it is reckless, that it is too much. They will say that you should tone it down, that you should play it safe, that you should stop pushing so hard. But they do not understand what it takes to succeed, what it takes to reach your full potential. They don't understand the strength it takes to ignore the voices of doubt and criticism. They don't know the power that lies in embracing your alter ego and allowing it to guide you to greatness. Their fear of your success is a reflection of their own inability to tap into their full power, and they will try to project their insecurities onto you, but you must never listen. Your alter ego is your secret weapon. It is the key to everything you desire. It is the version of you that does not shrink in the face of adversity, that does not cower when faced with fear, that does not stop until it has achieved what it set out to do. When your alter ego leads the way, the world will watch in awe as you shatter every expectation, every limitation, and every obstacle. They will watch as you rise higher and higher, as you claim what is rightfully yours, and as you make your mark on the world. And in the end, they will all see it for what it truly is. They will see that your alter ego was never a force to be feared, but a force to be respected. It was the version of you that knew no limits, knew no fear, and knew that you were capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. It was the version of you that led you to greatness, and in the process, it left the world in awe of the power that you have always had within you. That power, once buried deep beneath layers of doubt, insecurity, and the expectations of others, now stands proudly in the open, unfettered and untamed. The world now sees you for who you truly are. Someone who has tapped into their raw potential. Someone who has dared to rise above the noise and step into their true self. It wasn't always this way. You didn't always know how to tap into that power, how to summon the force within you that could reshape your life. But the moment you embraced your alter ego, the moment you gave that hidden version of yourself the freedom to take control, everything changed. The world will never be the same once you step into the power of your alter ego. People who once underestimated you, who never saw the full extent of your abilities, will be forced to reckon with the strength that lies within you. They will stand in awe of your courage, your resilience, and your unapologetic confidence. Your alter ego is the embodiment of the courage that most people will never have. It is the force that doesn't hesitate, that doesn't doubt itself, that doesn't worry about what anyone else thinks. It doesn't wait for opportunities to come to it. It creates its own opportunities. It is the part of you that will break through every obstacle and will push you to places you never thought you could go. And in doing so, it will force the world to recognize your greatness. When you allow your alter ego to lead, it pulls you into alignment with your true purpose. Everything begins to fall into place. What once felt like a struggle, what once felt impossible, now feels like a mere stepping stone, a small challenge to be overcome on your way to greatness. The world begins to open up, offering you opportunities, paths that you would have never seen before. Doors begin to unlock, and you realize that the only thing that ever stood between you and your goals was fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But when you step into your alter ego, that fear dissolves. The power that your alter ego gives you is the power to move beyond that fear and to keep moving forward with absolute certainty. This power is magnetic. The more you step into your alter ego, the more you will notice how the world responds to you. People will be drawn to you, not because of anything superficial, but because of the energy you exude. When you are aligned with your true power, when you let your alter ego shine through, you create a force field that others cannot ignore. They will be mesmerized by your presence, by your confidence, by the way you move through life with purpose and conviction. And this is not about arrogance. It's about knowing that you are walking your true path, that you are aligned with something far greater than yourself. When your alter ego leads, you stop doubting your decisions. You stop second-guessing yourself. You trust in your abilities, in your vision, and in the fact that you have what it takes to achieve everything you set out to do. But as powerful as this transformation is, it's not without its challenges. The more you embrace your alter ego, the more others will feel threatened by your strength. They will look at you and see someone who has broken free of the chains that bind them, someone who has dared to embrace the parts of themselves they have hidden for so long. This will make them uncomfortable. They will project their fears onto you, telling you that you are too much, that you are too aggressive, too intense, too bold. They will try to convince you that you are going too far, that you should tone it down, play it safe, fit into the mold. But your alter ego knows that the only way to achieve greatness is to fully embrace all that you are, to stand tall in the face of opposition, and to never back down. You must be prepared for this resistance. It is inevitable, but it is also a sign that you are on the right path, that you are moving in the direction of your true potential. When your alter ego rises, it rises because it has been hidden for so long, waiting for the right moment to emerge. And when it does, it is unstoppable. It brings with it a surge of power, confidence, and courage that will challenge everyone around you. People who once held you back, who once told you that you couldn't do it, will now see you for who you truly are. They will see the strength, the resilience, the unstoppable force within you that they were too blind to see before. And while some may try to tear you down, others will begin to take notice. They will be in awe of your transformation, amazed at how you have stepped into your power and left all the fears and insecurities behind. Your alter ego is not afraid to fail. It knows that failure is not the end, but merely a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. Failure is inevitable in the pursuit of greatness, but it does not define you. It is simply an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to move forward with even more wisdom. The more you allow your alter ego to lead, the more you will realize that failure is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. Every time you fail, you grow stronger, more determined, and more aligned with your true self. Your alter ego will push you to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to do things that scare you. And with each risk, you will realize that you are capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. People may try to convince you that you're too ambitious, that your dreams are too big, that you should scale back, be more realistic. But your alter ego knows no such thing as realism. It knows only what is possible, and it has a vision of what you can achieve if you keep pushing, if you keep striving for more. Your alter ego is the part of you that doesn't settle for mediocrity, that doesn't look around and say, "This is enough." It looks at the world and sees endless possibilities, endless opportunities to create something extraordinary. It challenges you to go beyond what's comfortable, to exceed your own expectations, and to redefine what's possible. But in order to truly step into the power of your alter ego, you must first let go of the need for validation from others. So long as you are seeking approval, so long as you are dependent on others' opinions, you will never be able to fully step into your power. Your alter ego does not need validation. It knows that it is enough, that it has everything it needs to succeed. The world will always have opinions, always have judgments, but your alter ego doesn't care. It doesn't wait for permission to be great. It simply takes the reins and leads you forward, no matter what anyone else thinks. As you continue to embrace your alter ego, you will begin to notice that the way you see the world starts to change. You will no longer see challenges as roadblocks. You will see them as opportunities to prove your strength, to show the world what you're capable of. Your alter ego doesn't see obstacles. It only sees the next opportunity to move forward, to grow, to evolve. It's this mindset that will propel you to new heights, that will push you further than you ever thought possible. Every step you take with your alter ego leading you will be a step toward your true greatness. And the more you walk this path, the more you will realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. The power you have within you is infinite, and when you allow your alter ego to guide you, you unlock that power in ways you never thought possible. The world may have once seen you as small, as ordinary, as someone who would never rise above the crowd. But now, as you step into your alter ego, you will leave them in awe. You will leave them questioning everything they thought they knew about you. And you will leave them wondering how they ever doubted the power that you always had within you. Your alter ego will lead you to places you never imagined. It will take you on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself, that will stretch your limits and redefine your potential. It is not just a part of you. It is the full, unleashed version of who you were always meant to be. And when you allow it to lead, you will discover that there is no force on this earth that can stop you. There is no dream too big, no goal too ambitious, no obstacle too difficult. The world will see your power, and it will be left in awe of the greatness that you have now stepped into. In embracing your alter ego, you tap into a power that has always been within you, waiting to be unleashed. This force propels you beyond limitations, beyond fear, and beyond the doubts of others. As you step into your true self, the world will stand in awe, witnessing your transformation and the unstoppable drive that now guides you. With your alter ego leading the way, there are no boundaries to what you can achieve. You are limitless, and your potential is endless. The path to greatness is yours for the taking, fearlessly and unapologetically. Listen closely. This isn't a call to shallow victory. This is a reckoning, a raw confession. You didn't just strike. You didn't settle for a simple win or petty payback. No, what you did was something deeper, colder, and more precise. You tore through the surface and burned through the lies and the masks. You went for the very essence, the core, the heart of it all. And what you left behind? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The ground where they stood is scorched and barren because you dismantled everything they built, everything they believed in, and everything they used to define themselves. This isn't about revenge, it's about eradication. You crossed a line that separates the weak from the unbreakable, the passive from the relentless. You didn't stop when they bled. You kept going until the wound swallowed them whole, until their identity was shattered and scattered beyond repair. Because what you just did, it's not just worse than revenge. It's the final chapter in a story they never wanted to read. You see, revenge is fueled by anger. It's a reaction, a spark born of hurt and betrayal. But what you wielded, it was something darker, more surgical, a purpose so cold and calculated it would make the very idea of retaliation look like child's play. Revenge demands a balance, a sort of fairness. You give back what was taken, nothing more. But you obliterated balance. You took it all, and then some. You made sure nothing was left to rebuild from. This is a power that doesn't seek satisfaction or closure. It demands obliteration, silence, and the finality of annihilation. Look into the mirror after what you did. Feel the weight of what you unleashed. You are no longer confined to the rules of engagement, no longer bound by the fragile laws of fairness or mercy. You're a force that reshapes reality by tearing down the foundations of those who dared to stand against you. And that is terrifying because it is absolute. Understand this. What you just did speaks volumes about who you really are, not the surface you show the world, not the compromises you make to blend in, but the truth lurking beneath. The part that, when provoked, doesn't just fight back, but eradicates, annihilates, and disappears without a trace. That is the essence of power, not the loud roar of revenge, but the quiet storm of destruction that leaves nothing but silence in its wake. You might wonder if there's a cost to this. There always is. When you leave nothing, you risk becoming nothing yourself, hollowed out by the very force you unleashed. But that is the gamble you chose. Because to truly break someone, to truly undo them, you must be willing to lose yourself in the process, to dive so deep into darkness that there is no return, only the stark landscape of your own creation. So wear that weight with pride, because few possess the courage or the ruthlessness to go where you did. Few have the conviction to strike at the core and leave no remnant behind, and fewer still can face the aftermath without flinching. But you did, and that is what separates the hunted from the hunters. Remember this, what you did wasn't just a strike, it was a declaration, a warning to anyone foolish enough to challenge you again. You've shown them what happens when the line is crossed, when patience runs out, and when mercy is a forgotten word. You've shown them that you are not to be toyed with, not to be underestimated, and certainly not to be crossed twice. What you just did is worse than revenge. It is the embodiment of inevitability. Because once you've gone straight for the core and left nothing, you set a precedent, a dark, unyielding standard for what happens next. And the world will remember, whether they dare to admit it or not. So embrace the darkness you summoned, for it is yours to wield. Embrace the silence you left behind, for it echoes louder than any scream. And remember, in the shadows where others falter, you thrive. In the void you created, you own everything. Stand and listen now to the thunder in your chest, to the hunger that will not be quieted, to the cold light burning behind your eyes. Welcome to the moment you stop pretending you are small. Welcome to the hour you become the consequence. You did not wander into this by accident. You did not stumble into ruin. You bore a decision like a blade, and you used it with the precision of someone who knows what must be ended. You went straight for their core and left nothing. There is a special clarity that comes with crossing a line that no one teaches you about, the kind of clarity that strips away excuses and alibis and leaves only the raw geometry of cause and effect. You chose to see the heart not as a delicate thing to be preserved, but as the fulcrum of power and the source of a structure worth dismantling. You did not simply retaliate. You unmade. Look at what remains and learn from it. The space left behind is not empty by accident. It is an echo of the force you brought to bear, a scar left on the world by an act that refused compromise, a carved-out silence that fills the room, louder than any threat could have. You did something final, and in that finality, there is a lesson for the brave and the broken alike. This is not a celebration of cruelty. It is not a hymn to needless suffering. It is an accounting of consequence. You recognize that some systems and some people cannot be reformed from the edges. They are held together by rot and falsehood, and they survive only by pretending to be whole. You chose the surgical honesty of destruction rather than the theater of reconciliation. Understand the difference between retribution and eradication. Retribution measures and balances. It says an eye for an eye and stops because fairness demands it. Eradication recognizes that fairness is sometimes a lie when the structure itself corrupts the future. You did not trade wrong for wrong. You removed the wrong as if removing a cancer. You made sure it could not spread again. There will be voices who will say you went too far, who will stand at the perimeter of the aftermath and cluck about mercy and restraint. These are the voices of those who never had to choose between a small, polite violence and true freedom. They confuse comfort with virtue. They are the ones who would rather live under a slowly creeping poison than breathe the clean air of risk. You must not be intoxicated by applause nor cowed by condemnation. You must regard both as background noise, because the thing you did belongs to a different scale of judgment. The measure of what you did is not public approval. It is the removal of a threat, the halting of a rot, the prevention of another generation from being harmed by the same lie. That is a harsh scale, and it is honest. There is a cost to wielding such finality, and you are not excused from paying it. There is a quiet hollowing that follows when you leave nothing. You may wonder in the still hours if you have also hollowed yourself. You may find that what remained of them had been your mirror, and in shattering it, you touched something of your reflection and watched pieces tumble away. That is the paradox of power. It demands sacrifice and keeps its ledger private, so account for that cost. Do not pretend it is negligible. Sit with it like a patient who knows. The incision was necessary, and let the swelling cool. Let memory of what you did then be a teacher, not a chain. When you stare into the empty place, do not romanticize the void. Instead, study it like a map. Learn what you can rebuild. Learn what you must never allow again. The people who understand power know that mercy without foresight is just another kind of weakness. They also know that cruelty for cruelty's sake is a foolish and barren joy. You walked a razor path because you understood both truths. You were not driven by a hunger for dominance. You were driven by a refusal to let the corrupt persist. You were driven by an unwillingness to be complicit in future harm. There will be nights when the darkness you chose will press close and ask for justification, and you will find your reasons thin, like paper before an open flame. That is when you must return to the facts, not the feelings. Return to the ledger of betrayals and broken promises, to the list of small violences that were always excused because they were convenient for someone else. Recall the accumulation of slights that became industry and the way harm was normalized and repackaged as harmless tradition. What you did interrupts that normalization. You drew a clean line through the complacency and said, enough. You made an immovable boundary that will alter how similar attempts are measured in the future. That is the responsibility of the decisive. It is not to be taken lightly, but it is to be taken fully. Do not expect gratitude from those who benefited from the rot. They will howl about fairness and proportions and restitution. They will build stories about how you were cruel and how you overstepped, because they must reframe their own complicity. They will seek to shame you into silence, because silence heals their conscience and preserves their privileges. Resist that pressure, like a wall in a storm. Resist the urge to soft sell what you did into something softer and more palatable. They will use your concessions as proof that their behavior was tolerable all along. Instead, be precise in your language when you speak about it. Be stoic. Be honest. Be unwilling to romanticize or to demonize beyond what is real. Say the truth about the reasons and the method, and accept that a clean explanation will attract fewer friends than a soft lie. A clean explanation will, however, grant you sovereignty over your narrative, and that sovereignty is worth preserving. You may be tempted to explain away the extremity of your act with stories of provocation and victimhood, but history does not remember the excuses as much as it records the effect. Remember the cardinal rule of irreversible acts. The world will interpret them the way that suits its storytelling instincts, not your moral accounting. Give the world nothing to twist. Give it your truth and nothing else. In the aftermath, there is work beyond the destruction, work that requires the same cold clarity that guided your strike. It is a different kind of labor to hold the space you created and to shape it, rather than let it remain a wound that festers. There will be those who want to rush in and repaint the same walls in a new color. Those who will attempt to fill the empty place with illusions and rhetoric. Those are the subtle rebuilders of the old order. They will wear fresh coats and soft words, but they will carry the same old poison in new containers. Your next act must be to prevent that replacement. Do not allow cosmetic fixes. Do not let theater fill the void. You must design new foundations, not for the sake of neatness, but for the sake of prevention. Build structures that are transparent and unforgiving of the old abuses. Build systems that do not rely on the very faults you excised. Create conditions where the same cruelty cannot easily find purchase again. This kind of construction takes a different courage. It is the courage of endurance, the courage of long labor, the courage of constant vigilance. You have proven you can act with devastating finality. Now prove you can sustain what you have made and keep it from crumbling under neglect or under the weight of those seeking to manipulate it back into service of their comforts. Never forget the lesson of consequence. You understand now better than most that an act can echo beyond its immediate target. It can change the language, the deals, the patterns that follow. It can shift expectation and make future transgressors think twice. That is the unseen power of what you did. You have altered the cost calculus, and that alteration will exert a quiet influence for years, whether people know it or not. There will be those who call your action monstrous, and those who call it merciful. They will both be right in a way. The monstrousness lies in the readiness to be final. The mercy lies in preventing endless repetition of harm. Both are true, and you must own both truths simultaneously. That is not a contradiction, but an honesty. This is the complexity of those who take responsibility for shaping outcomes, not merely reacting to them. Accept that some will never forgive you. Accept that some will need you to be simpler, so they can narrativize you into a caricature. Do not allow the narrowness of others to narrow you. Keep your motives in your view. Keep your standards with you and do not barter them for public comfort. The world seldom rewards nuance with applause, but it does require it for progress. Learn to move through isolation without losing your center. You may be isolated because most are not willing to choose what you chose. You may be reviled because others fear the precedent you set. You may be celebrated by a few and condemned by many. That will pass. That is temporary. The longer-term truth is that you have removed a danger and created a chance for something else to exist. Hold your hands steady when they tremble from the work you did. Hold your voice steady when it fears condemnation. Hold your eyes steady when they meet those who are harmed by what you removed and cannot see past their own pain to the promise of safety. Now you will need to be a presence that holds the boundary you cut. You did not end a story by erasing a villain. You ended a cycle by denying its continuation. You must now ensure the story that follows is not a rerun. For those who would emulate you, remember this. The world is not a place for amateur finality. The precision you used matters. Every irreversible choice carries the gravity of life and future suffering. Do not romanticize the wild and aimless destruction of things simply because they are inconvenient. Learn instead to mimic the deliberate economy of your original action. Select targets that are systemic, not personal. Choose methods that are decisive, not theatrical. Act with a mind toward prevention, not punishment. Teach those who will follow the importance of limits within finality. Teach them that leaving nothing is sometimes necessary, but that it should always be done with a framework of accountability and purpose. Teach them to see beyond immediate catharsis and to value long-term safety above short-term satisfaction. And when the inevitable critics ask whether you have become what you fought against, answer them with clarity and without pleading. Remind them that a different kind of harm required a different kind of response. Remind them that inaction had been the currency of safety for too long, and that safety could not be purchased with more small compromises. Reframe the argument from morality as feeling to morality as consequence. Show them the ledger of avoided future harms, and ask them whether comfortable discomforts are worth preserving at the expense of others. You will be tested again, not by the obvious enemies, but by the subtle ones, those who will attempt to use your precedent to justify lesser acts, those who will whisper that because you removed a danger entirely, they too may remove what they deem dangerous for reasons of convenience. There is a corrosive logic there, and you must resist it fiercely. Teach the difference between necessary eradication and opportunistic cruelty. If you are a leader, carry this like a wound that teaches not. Like a trophy you display, your followers will mimic your behavior. Your silence after decisive action will be more instructive than any speech. A leader's restraint is sometimes the only antidote to the intoxicating taste of absolute power. Show restraint when it will preserve justice. Show persistence when it will prevent relapse into old abuses. Know when to apply the blade and when to close it. Do not make solitude the consequence of your choices into self-imposed exile. Let the empty space you created be a canvas, not a prison. Invite those who seek genuine repair to the edges, but be rigorous in what constitutes repair. Invite accountability and require transparency. Offer restitution where it is sincere and measurable, but never allow sincerity to be a cloak for the same old tricks. You will notice how the world tries to fill the void with stories rather than substance. We tell stories because they are easy to hold and easier to manipulate. But you know better than to trade effect for narrative. You have seen how stories smooth over wrongs and make them comfortable again. Keep insisting on substance. Insist on measurable outcomes. Insist on structures that prevent repeats, not on slogans that placate the conscience. Let the silence you left be a teacher. Let it teach the value of consequence. Let it teach those who benefited from the old structures that absence is sometimes the greatest lesson. We learn more from what is missing than what remains, because absence forces assessment and assessment forces change. In private moments when doubt creeps in and the human part of you mourns for what used to be, remind yourself why you acted. Remind yourself of the cumulative injuries. Remind yourself of the promises broken and the lives diminished. Speak aloud the names of the small harms that built up into an industry and measure them against the peace you created. Do not be afraid to be both stern and compassionate to yourself, to hold your motives with critique. Remember also to care for the living, who were collateral to the system you dismantled, those who depended on it in small ways. Those whose livelihoods were entangled in the rot do not necessarily deserve your scorn. They deserve clarity and sometimes support to transition away from a dangerous architecture. Offer pathways for them to move forward. Do not mistake systemic removal for abandonment. If you destroyed a scaffold that many leaned on, then help them find new ways to stand. There is a spiritual dimension to such final acts that rarely gets acknowledged. The world will look different to you now. The contours of human exchange will feel sharper. The trivialities that once consumed you will fall away, and with them, a certain pleasant numbness. You will be left with clarity, and that clarity can be a fierce companion. It will keep you from easy comforts and false consolations, but it will also make your life more direct, more accountable, more honest. Use that clarity not to lord over others, but to build better frameworks. Use it to mentor those who must follow, to transform their anger into disciplined action, to teach them how to choose targets and how to plan beyond the flash of victory. Teach them to rebuild rather than to repeat. Never let the memory of absolute finality become a drug. Let it remain a tool. Keep a healthy fear of its consequences and treat it with both reverence and caution. Let the memory instruct your restraint and inform your boldness at the same time. You acted and made a space where something new might live. The true test of your deed will be whether that new thing is shaped by courage or by convenience, whether the silence you left becomes a fertile ground or a grave. The mark of true victory is not how complete the annihilation, but what follows after what you demolish. Let your next moves be governed by that aspiration to create, not merely to empty. Be relentless in oversight. Be meticulous in the rules you set. Be unyielding in the standards you require. If you cut down a malignant tree, you must also tend the soil so that a healthy grove can grow in its place. If you leave the earth unguarded, it will be colonized by the first opportunist with a sharp enough tool. So stand now in the aftermath with steadied breath and take up the next labor. You have proven you can do what few dare. You have drawn the line. You have cleared the threat. Now, be the architect of something durable. Be the guardian who prevents the rot from returning. Be the teacher who explains to future generations why this kind of finality is rare, restrained, and purposeful. Ladies and gentlemen, they thought they could just throw dirt on your name and walk away, didn't they? They thought they could spin their little stories, twist the truth, paint themselves as the victims, and leave you buried beneath the weight of their lies. But here's the thing. They didn't account for one crucial fact. They didn't know the strength in your silence. They underestimated your resilience and overestimated their ability to tear you down. They built their empire of deceit on a foundation of manipulation, but what they failed to realize is that lies are always temporary. Truth, no matter how long it takes, always rises to the surface. They thought they could break you, bend you, distort your reality and turn the world against you. They thought they could make you small, make you cower, make you feel small in a world full of giants. They were wrong. All their efforts, all their scheming, every word they whispered into the ears of others, they thought it would stick, that the mud they threw at you would stick to your character, to your soul, to your future. But instead, it only stained them. It only left them in the quicksand of their own lies. You see, the narcs, they thought they could ruin you. They thought they could destroy your reputation, twist the way the world saw you, and shatter your identity. But while they played their games, while they spun their webs of deceit, you were quietly watching. You were observing how they contorted the truth to fit their narrative, how they manipulated the facts to make themselves seem superior, how they tried to poison your image with every malicious word they spread. They thought they had power over you, but what they didn't realize is that the real power lies in the truth. And the truth doesn't need to shout to be heard. It doesn't need to fight to be seen. The truth simply is, and no matter how hard they try to bury it, the truth will always find its way to the surface. It's a cruel and empty thing they've done to you. They poisoned your relationships, spread false rumors, and made people question who you are. But let me tell you something. They've dug their own grave in the process, because lies have no foundation to stand on. Lies are like shadows. They disappear in the light of truth. And as time passes, as the dust settles, people will begin to see the truth for what it is. They will see the manipulation, the deceit, the cruelty that was hidden behind those pretty smiles and smooth words. The narcissists who tried to ruin you, who tried to dirty your name, they're the ones who will be left exposed. They will be left with nothing but their own lies, drowning in the very falsehoods they created. You might have felt the weight of their words, the sting of their betrayal, and the sharpness of their false accusations. But let me remind you that the power of a lie is in its ability to make you question your worth. It makes you doubt yourself, makes you second guess who you are and what you stand for. But in reality, their lies were nothing but a reflection of their own insecurities, their own need for control. They had to tear you down to feel better about themselves. They had to manipulate, distort, and twist the truth to maintain their fragile egos. But in the end, the world will see them for what they truly are. And when that day comes, when their web of lies begins to unravel, they will have nowhere to hide. What you need to understand, what you need to take with you as you walk this journey, is that their attacks on your name, on your character, were never about you. No, it was always about them. It was always about their need to control, to dominate, to make you feel small so they could feel big. But you were never small. You were never weak. You are a force to be reckoned with, and their lies, their manipulations, their schemes, they are nothing but a reflection of their weakness. They will never have the strength to destroy you, no matter how hard they try. They will never have the power to take away your peace, your dignity, your truth. The only thing they've done is expose themselves for the frauds they are. So let them drown in their lies. Let them choke on their own deceit. Let them fall deeper into the pit they've dug for themselves. Because when they do, when the world finally sees them for what they truly are, it will be too late. They will have no one left to blame but themselves. They will have no one left to turn to. And in the end, they will realize the cost of their actions. They will realize that the very thing they thought would destroy you was the thing that ended up destroying them. You've been through the storm. You've weathered the storm. You've been tested, pushed to your limits, and you've come out stronger on the other side. Those who tried to break you, to tear you down, to strip away your dignity, they underestimated you. They thought they could crush your spirit, but all they did was make it stronger. They thought they could drown you in a sea of lies, but all they did was make you rise above the waves, stand tall, and claim your truth. They thought they could erase you, but all they did was remind you of the power you hold. And now, they are left in the dust, choking on the very lies they used to try to bury you. You see, people who manipulate, who deceive, who lie, they are weak, they are fragile, and deep down, they know it. They know that the only way they can maintain any sense of control is by tearing others down, by poisoning the minds of others with lies and half-truths. But here's the thing. Lies only work for so long. The truth has a way of coming to light, no matter how hard they try to hide it. And when it does, when the truth finally emerges, it will shine brighter than any lie ever could. You, my friend, have nothing to fear. The lies they spread, the rumors they've planted, they are nothing but smoke and mirrors. They are distractions. They are feeble attempts to shift the focus from their own failures and insecurities. But you are the one who will stand tall when the dust settles. You are the one who will be remembered for your strength, for your resilience, for your unwavering commitment to the truth. So let them play their games. Let them lie. Let them scheme. But understand this, every lie they tell, every attempt to drag your name through the mud, only digs them deeper into a hole they can't escape from. They are running out of people to deceive, running out of places to hide. And the day will come when they are left standing alone, exposed for who they truly are. The day will come when they will realize that the very people they manipulated, the very people they lied to, will see them for the frauds they are. And in that moment, when their lies crumble and their truth is exposed, they will realize that they've lost everything. Because lies are always temporary, but truth is forever. You've already won. The battle was never about what they tried to take from you. It was about what you knew you had within you all along. The strength to stand tall, the courage to face the storm, the wisdom to know that the lies of others don't define who you are. You are the truth. And no matter how much they try to twist, bend, or break that truth, it will always remain. And as they drown in their own lies, you will rise above it all. You will emerge stronger, unscathed, and victorious. They thought their lies would be the hammer that would break you, but instead, those lies have become the very fuel that will propel you forward. Do you feel that within you? That fire? That unwavering certainty? That's your truth, your inner strength, your resilience. You have been forged in the heat of their deceit and cruelty, and it has only sharpened you. You are no longer the person you were when they first set their sights on you. You've evolved, transformed, and now you stand at the pinnacle of your own power. Their attempts to bring you down, to strip you of your dignity and your peace, have only served to reveal to you the depths of your own courage. You've seen the ugliness they've tried to paint you with. You've witnessed the shadows they cast upon your name, the whispers they spread behind your back, the smears they laid out to try to tarnish everything you've worked so hard to build. But in the end, it was never about you. It was about them and their desperate need to feel superior. They had to destroy what was pure, what was good, what was real, because the truth of your existence threatened the fragile illusion they had created for themselves. They had to bring you down diminish you, so they could feel powerful. But what they didn't realize is that the more they tried to attack you, the more they exposed themselves for the hollow, empty beings that they are. Their lies have no power over you, not anymore, not after all that you've been through. Every attack, every deceitful word, every underhanded tactic they've used to try to undermine you has been absorbed by your spirit, only to be transmuted into strength. You're stronger than you've ever been, because what they didn't understand is that you are a force of nature. You are not easily broken. You are not easily swayed. And no matter how many lies they throw at you, they will never be able to erase the truth of who you are. When they tried to tear down your reputation, they failed to account for one simple truth. Reputation is not built by the opinions of others, but by the actions you take, the way you carry yourself, and the integrity you hold. No amount of lies can take away the years of work, the countless hours of effort, the dedication you've poured into your life. The good you've done will always shine brighter than their attempts to dim your light. The truth you carry within you will always be louder than the lies they shout into the world. As you stand here today, let me remind you of one thing. You were never meant to be a victim. You were never meant to let the actions of others define who you are. No matter how many times they tried to paint you as something you're not, no matter how many times they tried to twist your story, your truth remained unshakable. They tried to take you down with their poison, but all they did was feed you the strength you needed to rise above them. Now, as they watch you soar, they will realize that their deceit was not only futile, but it was the catalyst for your transformation. Their lies were never about you. They were always about their own insecurities. The narcissists, the manipulators, the deceivers, they are not strong. They are fragile. They are not whole. They are broken people trying to cover up their wounds by hurting others. But you are whole. You are solid. And no amount of deception can crack that foundation. Their false narratives were meant to break you, to shake you, to make you question your worth. But instead, they've only revealed their own weakness. They cannot even bear the weight of their lies, and soon they will be buried beneath them. Their false personas, their masks, will slip. And when they do, everyone will see them for what they truly are. Hollow shells, hiding behind a facade of power they never had. Do not, for one moment, feel sorry for them. They thought they were playing a game. They thought they could manipulate, deceive, and control. They thought they could pull the strings and make you dance to their tune. But they never understood the truth of your spirit. They never understood that you are not a puppet to be controlled. You are not a pawn in their game. You are a warrior. You are a force. And when they attacked, you only became stronger. You've seen the manipulation. You've seen how they twist the truth to suit their narrative. You've seen how they slander, how they lie, how they try to turn others against you. But you've also seen how the truth, in all its simplicity, has been your greatest ally. No matter how much they tried to distort it, no matter how much they tried to hide it, the truth has a way of cutting through the lies. And as their lives begin to crumble, as the world begins to see them for who they truly are, you will stand tall. You will stand proud. Because you know, deep in your heart, that nothing they did to you could ever change the essence of who you are. They thought they could destroy you by attacking your character. But what they didn't realize is that character is not something that can be taken away. It's not something that can be stolen. Your character is built over time, shaped by your experiences, your choices, your integrity. It's something no one can touch, no matter how hard they try. They can try to tear you down, but they will never have the power to erase who you are. And as they continue to drown in their lies, you will rise. You will rise above the muck and the mire of their deceit, and you will emerge victorious. Because the truth will always set you free. The truth has a way of illuminating the darkest corners, of exposing the lies for what they are. And when that happens, when the lies finally crumble, you will be standing at the top, looking down on those who tried to break you. So what's next? What happens now that you know the truth of who you are? Now that you understand the power you hold within you? Now that you've learned to let go of their lies, to stop internalizing their attacks, and to stand firm in your own worth? Now is the time to move forward. Now is the time to take the lessons you've learned from this experience and use them to fuel your growth. Now is the time to embrace your power fully, to step into the person you were always meant to be. You see, this whole journey was not just about surviving their lives, it was about thriving despite them. It was about discovering your inner strength, your resilience, your capacity to stand tall in the face of adversity. And now that you've emerged from the storm, now that you've weathered the worst they could throw at you, nothing can stop you. The world is yours for the taking. The lies they told, the manipulation they tried to inflict upon you, it was never about you. It was always about them. And now, they are left to face the consequences of their actions. They will never understand the depth of the damage they've done to themselves. They will never understand how their lies have led them to a place of isolation where their masks are slipping and their true nature is being exposed for all to see. They are drowning in the very lies they told, and there is no escape for them. The walls are closing in, and soon the truth will emerge in all its glory. And when that truth finally comes to light, when the world sees them for who they truly are, you will be there, strong, unshaken, and victorious. You will stand as a testament to the power of truth, to the strength of character, to the resilience of the human spirit. Because while they tried to bring you down with their lies, you rose above it all. And in the end, it is not their lies that will define you. It is your truth that will carry you forward. And that truth will carry you to places they can only dream of. They can only dream of what you are about to achieve. The world they thought they controlled, the people they thought they manipulated, the lies they spun around your name, those are just fleeting moments in time. The future you are stepping into is something they will never be able to grasp. Every single step they took to try to diminish you, every malicious attempt to tarnish your reputation, will now seem like a futile, senseless effort in comparison to the greatness that lies ahead of you. Their intentions were always clear. They tried to plant seeds of doubt, sow confusion, and manipulate the perception of those around you. They made you the villain in their stories, attempting to turn your life into a narrative that suited their needs. They worked tirelessly to make you feel isolated, to convince you that you were alone in your struggle, and to convince others that you were the problem. But they were never the authors of your story. You were. And no matter how much they tried to rewrite your truth, the ink was already dry on the pages. They had no control over you. They had no influence over your destiny. They were simply playing in the background, unaware that they were merely pawns in a much larger game, one that would ultimately prove that you, and only you, have the power to define your future. This game was never about them, though they tried to make it about themselves. They were just distractions, obstacles to overcome, tests of your will. They wanted you to believe that their lies could break you, that their manipulation could crush your spirit. But what they failed to see is that every lie they told, every attack they made, only forged you into someone stronger. They never understood the depths of your inner power. They never understood that you are not like them, that you do not operate in the same realm of falsehoods and deceit. You are rooted in truth, and the truth is like a river. It might be momentarily obstructed, but it will always find its way to the ocean. The people they tried to turn against you, they will see the truth too. The ones they poisoned with their lies will begin to notice the cracks in their story. Lies can only hold so much weight. Eventually, they begin to crumble under the pressure of time and reality. And when they do, those who believed their false narrative will be left standing in a place of confusion. They'll begin to question what they were told, and they'll wonder how they could have fallen for it. And when they do, when they finally realize the truth, they will look to you, not with judgment or skepticism, but with admiration, respect, and a deeper understanding of who you truly are. People may have believed their lies at first. They may have fallen for the charm and manipulation, the sly words and calculated stories. But in the end, it is your actions, your character, your authenticity, and your integrity that will shine through. These are the things that cannot be faked. These are the things that define you. And these are the things that people will come to realize were true all along. They will look back at the moments they doubted you, the times they sided with those who tried to destroy you, and they will feel a deep sense of regret. But instead of staying in the past, instead of holding grudges, you will rise above it. You will keep moving forward, knowing that the truth will always find a way to emerge, no matter how long it takes. The narrative they tried to spin will soon become nothing more than a distant memory, a misguided attempt to rewrite the past. They may have tried to control the narrative, but in the end, the truth writes its own story. It doesn't need embellishments or manipulation. It simply is. And that is something they will never understand. They will never understand the power of truth because they are too busy living in a world of deception. They've created their own prison, and now they are trapped within the walls of their own lives. The more they try to cover up their deceit, the more the truth will seep through the cracks. And when it finally bursts through, there will be nowhere for them to hide. You, on the other hand, are already free. You have been liberated by your own truth. The truth that they tried so desperately to suppress, the truth that they tried to distort and bury, is now your strength. It has become the foundation of everything you do, and it is the very thing that will carry you to success. It will carry you to new heights, to new opportunities, to places they can only dream of. Because, unlike them, you don't need to manipulate to get ahead. You don't need to deceive to make progress. All you need is your own integrity, your own will, and your unshakable belief in yourself. And as you move forward, as you rise from the ashes of their lives, you will realize that their attempts to destroy you were nothing more than the spark that ignited your fire. They thought they could burn you to the ground, but instead, they lit a fire inside you that cannot be extinguished. Their false accusations, their cruel words, their calculated attacks, they only served to fan the flames of your ambition, your purpose, and your drive. They thought they were taking away your strength, but in reality, they were giving you the fuel to burn brighter than ever before. It's important to recognize, as you move forward, that the journey they tried to drag you through wasn't just a test of your strength. It was a lesson in resilience, in patience, and in self-belief. It taught you that the world can be filled with people who will try to deceive, manipulate, and destroy. But it also taught you that your strength is not in the absence of struggle, but in your ability to rise above it. And as you rise, you will continue to become more than you ever thought possible. You will accomplish more than they ever believed you could. And when they look back at the wreckage of their lives, they will see you standing tall, unbroken, and victorious. They will see you as the person they always knew you were deep down, a force to be reckoned with, a warrior who never lost their way. Their lies will not follow you. Their manipulations will not haunt you. The slanders they spread, The cruelty they inflicted upon you will eventually fade into the background. The world is constantly moving forward, and so are you. What's ahead of you is brighter than anything they could ever imagine. Their small minds couldn't fathom the heights you're about to reach. They couldn't imagine the impact you're about to make. They couldn't dream of the future you're about to build. They're stuck in their own web of lies, trapped in a narrative they can never escape. But you are free. You are moving forward. And with every step you take, with every action you make, you are creating a future that is brighter, stronger, and more successful than anything they could ever imagine. They can only dream of what's to come for you. And as they continue to drown in their own deceit, you will be soaring above them, writing your own story and living a life that they can only dream of. Because the truth, your truth, will always lead you to where you are meant to be, at the top, victorious and unshaken. In the end, their lies were never your burden to carry. They tried to destroy you, but all they did was reveal the strength within you that they could never comprehend. As they drown in their deceit, you rise, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Your truth, your integrity, and your resilience will guide you to heights they could only dream of. You've already won. The future is yours, and nothing can stop you now. Keep moving forward, because your victory is inevitable.